in the name of cognitive dissonance, people are all sit back and just ignore what it is they're pushing, but want to celebrate that we're black and we're successful now. Successful at what cost? Mm-hmm. If you feeding your family of 4, but you've poisoned the minds of 4 million, is that worth it? That's not worth it, man. And that's a problem, yo.
What's going on, everybody out there? It's Midway with SPMediaTV for your first episode of FYO Opinion. Now, the internet is definitely full of content creators giving their opinions on celebrities, on gossip, on different topics as well. And I want to hear y'all feedback too, because this show was actually inspired from the conversations I have with my friends about different content that we consume. And this dialogue that we have happens all the time in the comment sections of the videos that we watch. Now, who am I, right? I'm just Midway, regular old dude, nobody important, but I do want to talk about some things. And if you care to listen, stay tuned. Now, about 2 weeks ago, there was a Sway in the Morning interview with a rapper by the name of Dee-1. I was first introduced to Dee-1 by a guy named Dr. Boyce Watkins. Some of you may like him, some of you may not. Who cares? It's just your opinion. But he said he's one of the greatest rappers out here. He talks about a positive message. I'm all for that, right? But I had to take a listen for myself. And when I listened to this guy, all I heard was straight bars, charisma, attitude, self-esteem, but most importantly, he had a very positive and contrary message about the topics that we discuss in hip-hop culture. I love hip-hop from the bottom of my heart. Second to jazz, just to be quite honest with you, you know what I mean? But lately, this interview has been in an uproar because of some of the things that he was talking about, how our hip-hop community is sending out a horrible message to our community and our young ones, and how we need to change that for the positive so that we can make actual change and stop celebrating and glorifying the nonsense and negativity in our community. Now, everybody out here got fire beats. Everybody out here got chains, whips, baby mamas, bad biznaiches, and all that. But nobody's talking about the destruction that it's doing to our community, except for folks like Dee-1. Now, I will admit that he's still kind of new to me, so I'm learning his music. I heard the Sway in the Morning interview. If you want to check it out, it's in the link in the description. So shouts out to Sway for putting out dope artists. And in that interview, what dude was really saying, or the message I got from it, that the hip-hop artists, especially the most popular ones that we hold up so high, they have a platform that a lot of people are focused on. And they pass different messages through the music that ultimately destroys us as a people, gives other cultures a leeway to disrespect us, inspires the youth to do destructive things to one another. And at the end of the day, we have a community with so much power that are held in a powerless state, but doesn't exercise that power for good, ultimately destroying the community, thinking that we're building it, right? Now, the reason Dee-1 is on the hot seat right now is not necessarily just because of the topic that he was discussing, but because he actually named names. People like Rick Ross, Jim Jones, and Meek Mill. He called them out and told them, guys, you have to do better. And one of those folks actually replied. Rick Ross replied, basically trying to condemn him in a way, my opinion, saying, look, young boy, you got to calm all that down. We over here, we feed the community. That's right, communally. Not with M's, with L's, communally. We've been doing this for a long time. We helps out all type of folks. Now me, I'm just, go ahead and say this right here, right? What good is passing out book bags? What good is helping folks pay some rent? What good is giving it back to the community when you're at the same time putting out content that makes a community want to take from the community? So you publicly put out content that subconsciously enters folks' mind in the community to want to take from the community. Then you think it's okay to try to make up for it privately by trying to give things back to them. Yes, there's nothing wrong, and I do promote you giving back to the community, but why take from them in the first place? You trying to be a thief and Robin Hood at the same damn time. It don't make sense. It just makes you dollars. Now, I love ass like everybody else. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of ass shaking. Ain't nothing wrong with talking about where you come from, and if it's a place of poverty, discuss that. But he mentioned the difference between glorification, narration, and celebration. See, when you glorify destructive things in our music, to the subconscious mind of the listener, it sounds like these destructive things are what we should be doing, what will help us move through this community and get to a better place. But it's not, because it makes you do those negative things which produce a negative outcome, such as, I'm gonna shoot this dude, blow his face off, now I'm in jail. What? When you're narrating a thing, you're talking about or reliving things that have happened in our community and telling the story. And we all know what celebration is. And when you're celebrating a thing, that's something you definitely don't want to do when it comes to negativity in our community, because it shines a bad light on the stuff that we're trying to get away from. Like, why do we have out of prison release parties? We should be holding hands and giving out sandwiches, talking about, I know you tired of eating that prison food. Here go a bologna and cheese hamburger sandwich. What? I don't. Anyway, Dee-1 also addressed the mental health of hip hop and the cognitive dissonance that happens.
In the name of cognitive dissonance, people are all sit back and just ignore what it is they're pushing, but want to celebrate that we're black and we're successful now. Successful at what cost? Mm-hmm. If you feeding your family of 4, but you've poisoned the minds of 4 million, is that worth it? That's not worth it, man. And that's a problem, yo.
For those of you who don't understand what cognitive dissonance means, cognitive dissonance is a mental conflict that occurs when your beliefs don't line up with your actions, right? So we're sitting out here putting out content that talks about how we destroying our neighbor, but in private you want to go give him a book bag and some turkey? Come on here now. That don't make no sense. Just my opinion, but it don't make no sense. But it just makes you dollars. He also brings up the BET Awards. Now, I didn't watch the entire awards, but I did see clips of it. One of the things I did see, because, the man in me wanted to see what was going on with it. I saw Sexy Red on stage doing her thug dazzle. You know what I mean? Now, I stopped watching award shows a long time ago, because honestly, to me, them Josephine's is boring as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't sit there and watch it. Now, just my opinion. But a lot of that stuff, man, when I saw the clips of it, Sexy Red performing, talking about her Tootsie Roll brown.
My Tootsie Roll brown.
Now, if your Tootsie Roll is brown, I want to see. But that's neither here nor there. The point I'm making is, black ladies, we got to represent ourselves a whole lot better than this, man. We got young shorties out here looking up to you, listening to that music, approaching a guy with that type of behavior, but looking to him to look at her respectfully and wanting to treat her like a queen. Honestly, ladies, would you want your daughters to be performing for a man that way and thinking that's a proper way for her to conduct herself, thinking that's the way that she's gonna keep him? Huh? Now, that's just my opinion, but that's stupid. We need more artists like Dee-1 who have the platform, the vocal ability, and the willingness to speak out against this stuff. He mentioned that they act like he's crazy for speaking up about it. We need more of our big hip hop artists to come out and actually do these things so that he's not left out there alone. If you genuinely care about the well-being of our community, you would act as such. Like me, I got a problem with booty. I love me some booty. I love me some booty. And I got a problem with my attraction to the black woman's body. So that's why I don't be on Instagram no more. I used to scroll on Instagram to check out my folks' feed, but all I see is that. But all I see is butt. So I stopped. I'm acting like I'm addressing the issue that is my problem of my addiction to the black booty. I'm just saying. He also brought up something that I thought was really clever. He said, I don't call them OGs no more. I call them DGs.
With that being said, it's the OGs who I like to call DGs because they're disappointing grown-ups. Ooh. That's what they are.
I thought that was pretty cool. Because if you're our OGs, our senior representatives, but you're acting like how you were as a child and portraying that to us as adults now, how are you going to expect your community to grow? It's just dumb. You're supposed to be our leaders, but you're actually acting like followers. Think about it. But most importantly, though, there's a million of us with talent, right? But not all of us are famous and rich. You're rich and famous mostly in part because of the consumer. We give you our money, time, and ear to receive what you're giving out. And he says, while we're making music, thinking that this is what the audience wants to hear, he mentions that the consumer has the power to actually create an industry for themselves by being consumer activists.
Fans, if y'all want something different, I talk about this in my college course. I need you to become what's called a consumer activist. That means that as a consumer, you understand that you have the power to be an activist as well. And your purchasing power and what you choose to support is a form of activism. So if you don't want to hear no more of this type of music, don't support it. Don't make a TikTok video using those type of songs.
If you stop paying for the music that's destructive to our community as a consumer, and only purchase and support the music that supports and helps us grow mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and our well-being is changed for the positive, then the industry by default will be forced to give you what you're asking for. Today's world, we have the EYLs, we have the Jason Thorntons, we have the Dr. Boy Swackers, we have a bunch of different people out there, whether you like them or support them or not, talking about the financial growth of us, and I love that. But we also have a hip-hop industry that is the bread and butter of the black listener's ear, talking about how we can throw our money away. Nobody's really talking about the power of investing, the power of real estate, the power of business ownership. But at the same time, I know how brown your Tootsie Roll is.
My Tootsie Roll brown.
Huh? Listen, man, as a culture, we got to change things, man. Now I understand how certain folks hear that and say, this is who we are. It gives me swag, it gives me influence, it gives me money, it gives me fame, it gives me happiness, right? And we all have that liberty to pursue that and get what makes us happy. But at the end of the day, are we really thinking about the happiness that we're seeking? Is that what truly will bring us fulfillment of positive growth? Or are we taught to want those things, thinking that it's bringing us positive growth, but at the end of the day, destroying the community as a whole? We have children, people. We got to represent for them in a positive way that after we're gone, they will still be here and holding up our name in the great light while also moving the community forward. Now, at the end of the day, I'm just a regular old dude named Midway, just voicing my little opinion about some stuff I saw. Now, we all have thoughts, we all have words we want to share with the public. And of course, just like you, we want our stuff to be upheld as right. But at the end of the day, man, F your opinion. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, man. We out.